most couples I work with when they come into my coaching, I ask them, when was your last date? And they go, what?
Must have been
they'll-
last decade.
yeah, they'll say, well, I wish we had a date. I wish. And I say, well, why aren't you dating each other? Well, it's hard to find a babysitter. Well, sure, but you can. There's ways to work around that. Well, I don't know what we would talk about. What? What about all the changes you guys are making? What about your life? What about your goals, your struggles? Even start with like, man, this sucks. It sucks that we haven't been on a date in a long time. And now I'm happy that we're on this date. Even that is a good conversation piece, right? Begin there. How have you been since our last date 8 years ago? Start there, but start dating each other. Remember that you're a couple. Otherwise, you're not going to be a couple for very long.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, and I do think that whole like, what are we going to talk about and everything, I think that's real. I think people are sort of like, my gosh, if we're not talking about the kids and we're not talking about, the schedule or whatever. And again, when you don't create space and time for those conversations, there's the fear that date night is going to turn into that. And who wants that? Like that's not what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I think that, also, I think just putting the energy and planning something and showing that you want to be with this person, right? I want to be with you alone is a huge message that needs to get sent.
I enjoy being in your presence. That's things that most couples don't even say to each other. And that's unfortunately, then the message that's sent is, I don't enjoy being in your presence. That's what wives especially end up hearing. And then it turns into, I'd rather be in anyone else's presence but yours. And then it gets just really ugly from there. So make sure that you're telling your partners that. Everyone at home, make sure that you go on dates. People at home, please don't delay any longer.
So let me ask you this. How long have you guys been married for?
Yikes. 23 years.
Okay, 23 years. At the beginning going into it, did you believe in unconditional love?
No.
No? Do you believe into it now?
Unconditional love?
Yes.
I mean, are you talking about are you talking about in marriage or in any relationship?
Let's say in marriage, which should be like the place where unconditional love thrives aside from child rearing.
No, I don't think, probably aside from my kids, and I don't know that, I would have to even think about that if something, terrible were to happen or something. I think that unconditional love is not real if you are a type of person who wants to have boundaries and everything and who wants to protect yourself. I think that unconditional love is something that you're sort of saying, okay, well, however you treat me, I'm going to love you. And I do not believe in that at all. It's not that I believe love is conditional. I just don't think that it is, just this free flowing, thing that should just, people should just say that they feel no matter what, because at a certain point, not that love has to be earned, but it has to be maintained. And in order to maintain it, it takes work. And, I think once once somebody or both stop maintaining it, then, what's the point kind of,
It's like an intent thing. What about you, Adam? You've been almost 16 years. Unconditional love, true, false?
Well, it sounds like Danielle and I are probably on the same wavelength here. I do believe in unconditional love, but I don't believe in unconditional relationships. And I also believe that the type of love you feel can change. So I don't necessarily like a married couple. I don't think that you should just say, I will love you and be with you no matter what. I think that that's absolutely not helpful for anybody. And I don't think anyone should even trust that. If your partner does say that, they're probably anxiously attached and codependent. I think that here's what it is if you start doing bad things and awful things, then my feelings for you will change. I will love you, but I'll probably pity you more. I'll love you more as a pitiful person and have sympathy upon you and I'll care for you, but probably from afar. I won't be in this close proximity with you. I'm not going to be doing these things with you. I will love you from way over there in a sort of sad, pitying kind of love and generally hope that you get better. But it's still a version of love, but it's not a deep, romantic, abiding love. So if you ask me about unconditional romantic love, no.
So there's kind of a bit of a scale, right? In terms of how much of love you get is dependent on how much you choose to earn it.
What do you want from me? And then let's talk about how we can build that together. And I'll be very generous on my side. I'm not going to nickel and dime you. Well, you didn't do this for me today, therefore you don't get this extra bonus package. Your bonus has been removed. It's only the standard salary.
Not hit your KPIs.
Right. Yeah, you didn't hit your
Right.
KPIs, ladies. So come on, sorry. Right. No, we're not doing that. But there do need to be certain boundaries on the relationship expectations, monogamy, no abuse, no drugs, blah, blah, blah. There needs to be certain things in the relationship. And then for deeper intimacy, these pieces need to be there. And then for real trust, these pieces need to be there. And depending on what kind of relationship we both agree that we want at the time, we build those expectations for each other and we help each other hit those targets. And we warn each other if the targets are being missed.
If you like this clip, I know you're going to enjoy the full episode. You can watch it right here.